What's going on, everybody? If you're new here, my name's Kevin. If you're returning, welcome back. Let's build a tire carrier. Alright guys, so this is kind of a rough idea of what I plan to do with this thing, but here I have it laid out. You've got your spindle hitch kit that I got from EMS off-road through Amazon. You've got your bearings here. This will all be assembled, but this is gonna be right here and welded to that outer tubing. And then down here we have the this is a pull pin. And then we've got a latch. This tube right here is 3/16 3x2. It's probably going to end up getting cut here. I'm going to have an angle coming off, and then a 3/16 mounting plate where the tire is going to mount to it. This will be cut in half, and there will be a cross member here and a cross member here. And so that's my rough idea. I want to keep it as simple as I can, but I want it to be strong and durable and all that good stuff. So back bumper will have to come off, and because there's going to be, I'm going to have to, if you look under there, when I put that spindle through here, there's going to be no place for it to mount. So I'm going to have to build a box made of 3/16 steel is my plan, and that box will be welded to the inside of this end of the bumper, so that when I put that pin through here, you know, it's going to go inside that box, and it'll be anchored on the bottom of the box that I build for it, if that makes sense. Once I do it, it'll make complete sense, I promise. But yeah, I've got a lot of work to get to, so let's do it. Alright, so I got it set up on the bumper here. As far as the hinge piece goes, that's about where it's going to go. And I'll just be drilling a hole right down there. And it's going to have two 3/16 pieces of steel. I'll have them welded together and cleaned up and square. And then that 2x2. That'll give it a little space. I'm going to mark this and get to drilling a hole in this bumper. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick and tired of struggling to drill through thick metal. So I went ahead and went down to the Home Depot and got that. It was not cheap. I hope it's worth every penny. That's all I can say. Let's find out. Alright, so check out this cool hinge assembly. Okay, so we have the shaft part right here, the bottom seal, bearings, and it has a race inside here already. It looks like this. It's beveled and tapered. Very cool, huh? And then this race is going to go in right here. It acts a little stubborn. It acts like it's going to be tight, and then you get it just right, and it falls right down into place. Just like that. And then the other bearing is going to go in there like that. And tighten that down. But yeah, look at that. Very nice, huh? And it has this cotter pin. Once you get it all tightened down the way you want it, and then it's got the cap. The cap going in the end like that. And I'm not gonna put it down in there until it's done and ready, but pretty cool, eh? There you go. All right, so next thing, that bumper is coming off. All right, so looking at this, I guess I should have taken the bumper off before I welded it. You know, I wanted the bumper on while I drilled the hole, obviously, but you know, then I would have seen the conundrum that I have space-wise here, as you can see. So I'm just brainstorming how I'm going to do this. One thought that I have is to take a piece of metal and cut a hole in it, and then cut the ends out so it's a slot, so the piece of metal will come in here like this around the dowel here, or spindle. And I just looked with the welder. I'll be able to weld it here, I'll be able to weld it here, and obviously all the way around. I'll be able to weld all the way along this back wall. And then I'll put a gusset right here connecting to a bottom plate, where it'll be welded to the bottom plate, and the bottom plate will just come like this. So yeah, you know, getting curveballs is my specialty. Or I should say I get a lot of them, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do, and I'll check back in with you once I figure it out. So I've got the bracket system finished, anchoring the bottom of the spindle to the inside of the bumper. This is what I did. So we've got the bottom plate, which I notched out. We're welded on both sides to this wall. The bottom of the spindle is also against this wall. We've got a gusset here for extra stability. So we're anchored to this wall, we're anchored to this one, and then we're anchored here via our crappy looking, yet strong, welds on the top side. So I just hit this with a coat of primer paint, and I've got to get that tire out of there, and I'm going to mock it up on the truck to see exactly where I'm going to want it to be hanged, how high I'm going to go with it. So that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, so got the bumper back on. Getting it level was no easy task, but I got it done. Check it out. It's not perfect, but I'll take it. And you can see that it looks level. It doesn't look like our spindles leaning into the truck anymore like it was, so that's good. So at this point I'm going to start constructing the tire carrier itself. So here we go. This should be fun. .32 degrees, that's the number that I just cut here on the miter saw. 32 degrees, and I can't take full credit. I saw somebody else do their tire carrier, and that's the number that they chose, and this is what it looks like. So that's a 32 degree cut you have there, and here's the end that I cut off. And it just so happens that if you, so it was like this, right? And you flip it around now, and that's what you end up with, and that is the angle that I want and the proper distance. So on the end of this right here is going to be the plate that I'll have the lugs through, that you will mount the tire to. If that makes any sense. It'll make sense when I start doing it. You'll see what I'm thinking. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get that down, get this end welded, to it, just like that. And also, I've got to go ahead and take this back off and get it welded on there. Then of course I've got the other beams, the 2x2s rather, that are going to be in support of this main beam. So that's what we're doing now. All right, so next I'm just gonna clean up all these edges and get them ready for welding. Gotta make a cap for that one. So yeah, I got a lot of edges that I gotta clean up. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. My 2x2 cap. Okay, so yeah, they're ugly welds, but I think that they're pretty stout, and I mean, they're not. I've seen worse. Okay, I've seen worse. That was horrible. But I mean, it's definitely gonna hold. Okay, that one is worse than the other side. That one was probably the best out of them, right there. But it's strong. I'll paint it, and it'll look just fine. Not perfect, but I am going to grind it down a little bit and smooth it out, and when it's painted, it'll look great. All right, so this, the way I have it cut currently, if you look at the angle of it, that's just too aggressive of an angle. I don't want the tire to be way out like that. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to cut about that much off. You see the line that I drew? And then if you line that up, it's still gonna have the forward lean, but it's not gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be about like, just about like that. I think that's gonna be better. And so that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna go ahead and cut that new angle in. Once I do that, then I just gotta build a plate that's gonna have the lug nuts on it, or the lug post, whatever you call it. And then once I get that built, be able to put the tire up there and see if there's anything else I gotta change. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, get to cutting. right, guys, so it's the next day. I want to talk about the mounting plate. So this is the mounting plate that I've designed for it. 8x8, and I got it cross-sectioned into 4x4 so I could find the center point, because I got a great idea from, I believe it was Overland Under Budget. I think that's the guy that showed this support. So what he did was he made this metal. What I did, now this is not exactly like what he did, I don't think, but I cut out a piece of metal and I notched it and then I bent it so that it is a semicircle. And what that's going to do is I'm gonna put that there, right at that center point, so I know it'll be the center point, and then I'll have a gusset underneath it for extra support. And the reason I wanted to do that was because, you know, if you ever struggle to pick a tire up and put it right on those lugs, you're trying to find it while you're holding it, well, with this thing sticking out, you'll be able to lift the tire, put it onto the support, okay? And once it's up, and once it's on that support, now it's being supported, so you can shift the tire to where you need it to be to find your lug bolts, and then just push it right on there. So I thought it was a great idea, so I went ahead and copied it. And so right now what I'm going to be doing is making that support. Once I do that, then I will fit it to the wheel, and I will find you know, those points where I'm going to be running those lug bolts through there. We'll be finding the spots to drill it into the support plate. And yeah, that's what we're doing now. All right, so I have welded the support onto the mounting plate. I found where the first hole is going to be. It's going to be right there. These are the lug bolts and the lug nuts that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to drill right here. I'm going to get the lug bolt in place, mount it up to the tire, cinch it in, and then I'll mark the second one. Come back, drill, same process. As soon as I get four of them in place, I'm going to cinch it up to the tire, and then I'm going to weld these on the back side. I'm going to weld these on the back side, and then those lug bolts will be in place forever. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do right now. Adjustability. Sweet. I show my successes and failures. I hope this is a success. We will see. I really probably should tighten this down a little bit better. Yeah. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Go. Awesome. Sucker. I wanted to bend down, man. Oh no. No. Really? Oh. Shoot. I really wanted to bend down, man. Now I'm scared.